I've been impressed with him for 20 years, since he was an amateur, you know, and I remember watching his fight. Funny enough, he was against Sean Porter at middleweight, 75 kilos.
Got the thumbnail.
I'm telling you, the best brain about.
This is Jonathan Langer, Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Joe Mcnally. We've just done the press conference ahead of Taylor against Catterall 2. The rematch this Saturday goes down here in Leeds on DAZN. Joe, how are you first of all? Nice to meet you.
I'm good, nice to meet you, buddy.
Some good praise from Tony Bellew there. Are you the type of coach that sort of enjoys that praise, or you just get on with the job kind of thing in hand?
Yeah, he's my lifelong friend. One of my best friends, to be fair, and he's a fucking lunatic at the same time.
Just want to pick up on the press conference. When Eddie, or I believe Jamie, said that one loss, it doesn't define a fighter. You kind of suggested that's the case. One loss and it's not all over. Talk to me about sort of that mentality heading into Saturday night.
Yeah, it's how the fighter deals with the situation. With the loss, you either let it ruin you, or it is a lesson. There's too many. It's going through a module, as I've just said. I'll give Eddie his kudos, working alongside Matchroom numerous number of years now. He sort of has ripped that script up a little bit, Eddie, and if you get it ill, he won't shit on you and leave you in the cupboard. He'll say, well, you put up a performance and you win, you come back. An example of that is John Ryder, so to say. And what a twilight career he had, and he took a few losses, and he come back, and it never defined him as a fighter. He finished a fantastic career. But yeah, it's wrong in the sport. That's what's wrong right now. And Josh took a loss with Tio, and it's, he hasn't got it, he hasn't this. But look, Saturday night to tell also, you can do everything in the gym, but you've got to get under the bright lights and do it. And ultimately, Saturday night will tell us if he can still shine under the lights or he doesn't. It's as simple as that.
Obviously you weren't in the corner for the first fight, so as an outsider looking in, what did you make of the fight and Josh's performance?
Yeah, I thought, as I've stated on the press conference, I thought he massively underperformed. I think Jack did. I think Jack struggled with Josh, and Josh struggled with Jack. Jack landed clean at one single counters, and Jack forced the forced the contest the whole fight, mainly the second half. So it was a fight of what you preferred, but the ebb and flow, the whole contest was terrible, and I just hope that it plays out and it's a good fight for the fans and the sport of boxing Saturday.
Just going to move the camera slightly here so we get a better shot. As a trainer, obviously you had the loss to Teofimo. We know sort of the circumstances surrounding Josh going into the fight. How different a fighter is he from that?
I wouldn't say different. It's not a different fighter. It's the same fighter. Yeah. But he was meant to actually fight Jack when he torn his plantar fascia, and then the WBO was stripping him. He got forced a little bit into the TO1, but look, he's a man, and he took the fight. He couldn't do his road work, he couldn't do high intensity work, the old camp, and I think that played a big part in it, in the contest. But look, let's not beat round the bush with the Teofimo fight too. As much as Teo looked good, Josh, for me, took rounds 1 to 3, maybe the 4th, the 8th and the 10th. 7-5. If it was one more round in his favour, which I expected him, he had a fantastic 10th round to finish strong in the 11th and 12th, but Teo had a massive 11th and 10th after Josh having 11th and 12th after Josh had a good 10th. We wouldn't be sitting here now. He wouldn't be fighting Catterall. But that's life, that's the law of the land, that's how the universe works. But he come away with his first loss, but as much as he wasn't himself in that fight. He still managed to pinch five rounds off Teo. One more round, it was a draw, and the scorecard suggested that also.
And just on your stable, you've got sort of an upcoming stable, experienced guys. Yeah, just tell us a bit about it. I know you've got Liam and Dennis and things like that.
You know, it's a funny old thing, and I've got a few. I call it the veterans now. You know, James Metcalf, Liam Smith, and Josh Taylor. They're on the twilight careers, but I've got a fantastic young crop. You know, there's 24-year-old Pierce O'Leary, Dennis McCann fighting Inut Beluta in a rematch. Heidia Herrera, 14-0 People's Fighters kid from Cuba. Jack Turner, 6-0. Frankie Stringer, 7-0. Nelson Birchall, 3-0. It's very, very, very good crop. There's Kevin Ajajo, who's, you know, he's there whereabouts European level right now. So he's still got a full career ahead of him. And I think, you know, with Liam Smith pushing on from the 154 division, Kevin Ajajo could be the kingpin to take over that domestically 100%.
And I just want to pick your trainer head for a minute. Obviously, I know you would have been asked this, Coach. Obviously, at the weekend, you know, Fury and Usyk. What was your thoughts on the fight, how it played out?
You know, I think it was a fantastic fight. I thought Fury had Usyk winning by a few rounds, and I thought, you know, Fury had fantastic success in the middle rounds of the fight. I thought he should have pressed the action a little bit more, but for whatever reasons he didn't. But it was a good fight all in all. I don't think there was no loser in that. It was a good fight, and they're going to get it on again, and it'll be another fantastic fight. Could Fury win a rematch? Absolutely.
How impressed were you with Usyk and just his career in general? You know, a lot of people wrote him off going into it, saying, you know, just a bit too small, but once again he proved him.
I've been impressed with him for 20 years, since he was an amateur. You know, and I remember watching his fight, funny enough, he was against Sean Porter at middleweight, 75 kilos, and then he had fantastic contests with Artur Berbetiev, 91 kilos. Just kept an eye on him since. He was he was entertaining as an amateur, really good. He had that, you know, Eastern European style. He's got a little bit of Cubano stuff going on, and he's a quality operator, yeah. He's a good ambassador to be carrying the, you know, undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
On Fury, of course, the question marks over, you know, the amount of voices he was being told within the corner. What do you make of that as a coach? You know, how do you like it, you know, when you're in the corner, and was there too many voices for Fury?
You know, you have your team. You have a team in the corner. I've got my team. I've got Declan with me, James Bam Bam Carney, and if even a Kutzman, to the extent I work a lot with Rosamba, John Hodgson, things, and we'll have a chat between rounds, really. But we will never overtalk one another, and I think one voice is instrumental. You overload the fighter too much. There's too much going on. That's my opinion, but I did think Sugar Hill gave him fantastic advice, to be fair.
And you know, is that the main key for victory in the rematch, or you know, what would you say he's got to do differently if he's to be successful?
I think Tyson's got to hold his ground, not go back. He's got to make Usyk fight off the back foot, and he had major success. It's a known thing. Usyk doesn't like hit the body. Go to basement, baby, and then come back up top, push him back, sit down on the shots a little bit more, and maybe pulls the victory off.
Just finally, Joe, Wilder Zhang next week. Just want to know your thoughts on how that's going to play out.
Sorry, Phil.
Wilder against Zhang next week. How do you think that's going to play out?
Zhang, KO.
There you go. Well, Joe, appreciate your time and good luck Saturday night here in Leeds. Thank you.